Drew just under $3 million here this season. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled right side. Fourth time these two franchises have met during the World Series. 1946, 1967, 2004. And a 4-game sweep after the Red Sox got up off the mat against the Yankees in the ALCS. Here's a 2-2. Over but low, full count. The top three in this Red Sox lineup love to run.
92 stolen bases of the 123 the Red Sox had this year.
It was 2-0. Now it's 3-2. Ellsbury takes a walk. Look at the dimensions of Fenway Park. 315 into left with the 37-foot high wall. The Green Monster here in Boston. 17 feet high in center. Look at that 420 spot in that corner out in right center. And then right down the line, it's only a 3-foot high wall right there at the pesky pole.
And on cue, it gives Shane Victorino all sorts of problems this year. His injury problem started running into that wall, that low riding wall on May 12th against Toronto.
So now that matchup, as you look at that wall in right, the matchup between the guy behind the plate, Yadier Molina, the guy at first base, Jacoby Ellsbury, who stole 52 bases this season to lead baseball. But Wainwright is quick to the plate, and Yadier Molina is the best in the game at cutting down potential base stealers.
42% cost stealing this year. I couldn't help but think, you know, with Victorino taking that curve, the last pitch he saw was a curveball.
And he dumped it over the wall and left.
Second grand slam in the postseason of his career.
Sometimes it doesn't matter who you have behind the plate. You know this better than anybody. If the pitcher doesn't give the catcher a chance, Adam Wainwright gives his catcher a chance.
Yes.
When guys take off. He's quick. That's on the inside corner. Good pitch. And the count 1-2. Shane Victorino talking to John Hirschbeck.
Victorino crowds the plate. And that pitch inside, veering in on Victorino. He thought it was inside. Looked like it had the plate.
So the conversation with John Hirschbeck, who is umpiring in his 4th World Series. Now the 1-2 from Wainwright. Line drive into left, right at Holiday. 1-on, 1-out. Victorino hit it hard, but right at number 7, and we give you the Ford keys to the game.
For the Cardinals, make Lester throw to the middle of the plate. They tried to do that at the top of the first inning. For the Red Sox, change your pattern and start and not take the first pitches off them. The last game the Red Sox played, they took 10 straight hitters, took the first pitch. 10 straight. Actually 11 straight, because Pedroia was the first batter that swung at the first pitch, and that was that foul ball that he hit about 4 inches down the left field line.
But over the wall, it didn't travel 4 inches. It was foul by 4 inches.
Right. Did I make it sound like it went 4 inches?
I just want to clarify, that wouldn't be that impressive of a foul ball. 1-on, 1-out. Pedroia at the plate, and he takes a strike.
First 3 hitters have taken pitches for the Red Sox.
This was not 4 inches. Maybe 4 inches foul on what was nearly a 3-run home run for Pedroia. That was in game 6. That's outside. Ball and a strike. Pedroia during the regular season at 301. had a tear in a ligament in his left thumb that he suffered on opening day. Didn't complain about it. The power numbers were down, but this is one of the toughest players in any lineup in any sport. Dustin Pedroia.
Couldn't agree more.
1 on, 1 out. Strike 2. Good pitch from Adam Wainwright.
What a beauty. Might have been outside. Pedroia went to Arizona State, as you see the grip on that curve. And a scout told him when he was ready to sign, we'd draft you in the higher round, but you're too short. We'd draft 3 inches. So said or so thought the Rookie of the Year in 2007 and MVP in 2008.
And truth be told, when Pedroia first got here, and I'm sure Terry Francona is watching this game after a great year with Cleveland, he was Pedroia's first manager. He showed up, Pedroia, and Francona thought, who is this guy? 5'8", 165 pounds. He swings like he's a right-handed hitting David Ortiz. He didn't think he could handle it at first. Well, Terry Francona became one of Pedroia's biggest fans.
First 5 weeks of his career, Pedroia was hitting 170.
Here's a 2-2. And to center field, a base hit. And it's 2 on, 1 out here in the first inning for the Red Sox in Game 1.
He had 283 with 2 strikes on him this year. That was second in the American League, getting on top of that high cutter from Wainwright.
And with 2 on and 1 out, the batter will be David Ortiz, who had just 2 hits in the ALCS. One was a blue pit. The other tied Game 2 in the 8th inning with 2 out here at Fenway against the Tigers. And Joaquin Benoit. But Ortiz hitting just 178 over his last 24 postseason games. Shifted on the infield as ball 1 rides up and away from Wainwright. Here's a 1-0 on the inside corner, ball and a strike. Out here, Molina right behind him. The holdover series matchup. Ortiz coming into his zone with the Red Sox. Molina was a rookie catcher with the Cardinals. In that series, the Red Sox scored in the first inning of every game,
sweeping the Cardinals. Mike Matheny, the manager of the Cardinals, was the catcher for the Cardinals in the first 3 games of that series.
Here's a 1-1. Able to lay off the curveball from Wainwright. It's 2-1. Ortiz in that World Series was 4 out of 13 with a home run and 4 RBIs. The 2-1. Can they turn it? Out at second. Now they're going to say out.
Oh, I don't think so, Joe.
I don't either.
I think the Cardinals got a huge break.
First and third, 2 out. Let's watch.
Oh, no.
There's
Not
no
even
way.
close. No way. No way.
John Farrell is out arguing with the second base umpire. That's Dana DeMuth. And DeMuth's call immediately was that Cosma dropped it, taking the ball out of his glove. He never had it.
No chance. Nope. Immediately, John Farrell comes out to argue the play. Review. That's something, by the way. I think John Farrell is asking Dana DeMuth to get help. That's a huge difference. Instead of the bases loaded and 1 out.
Here it is, regular speed. The umpires are getting together, and you could see John Farrell saying, that's all I'm asking. He's asking for help. The question is, will one of these umpires overrule Dana DeMuth with that call at second base?
That's right. And they should. Next year, of course, would be challenging that play because replay in baseball will change dramatically for the 2014 season.
Well, if they change this call, then it'll be Mike Matheny out to argue.
Right.
Farrell standing there on the infield watching this meeting. And again, it's either first and third, 2 out, or bases loaded, 1 out, with Napoli coming up. And they're going to put the runner back. And here comes Mike Matheny. The runner is Pedroia. The bases are going to be loaded with 1 out, and we've got controversy here before we've even settled in.
Well, the umpires got the play right. There is no way that Cosma is taking the ball out of the glove. Off the end of the glove. The ball is never in the pocket.
In the rule book, it says release is supposed to be voluntary and intentional. Action of Yadier Molina as the umpires got together and overruled the call of the veteran umpire Dana DeMuth at second base.
Yeah, he never caught the ball. It was off leather, but off the webbing of the glove. Never in the webbing.
Have you ever seen, I'll ask you this, have you ever seen in your experience umpires getting together to overrule on that specific play?
No.
I have not either. And I think that would be Matheny's argument here. They get the call right, but to overrule in this case, when clearly DeMuth had a clear look at the play, as opposed to somebody having a better look, I think that's what Mike Matheny would argue.
Yeah, and what else are you going to overrule in this series? That would be Mike's argument. If you overrule that, then you're opening up. But clearly, that was not in the act of throwing to first base. Got it right.
It goes down as a fielder's choice, E6. Remember, because of the shift, the infielders were in different positions than they typically would be with David Ortiz at the plate. That's why they were out of alignment. And what would typically be a routine double play was made a little more difficult. But Cosma just flat out missed the toss. And now the bases are loaded, 1 out for Napoli, who takes ball 1 inside.
What Pete Cosma had to do on that play, since he was to the right side of second base, he had to circle second base and get in a position to throw it to first because Ortiz is not a fast runner. They did have a chance for a double play, by the way, but booted by Cosma.
Now a visit to the mound as Molina goes out. An error committed by Pete Cosma here in the first inning. And let's take a look at the play from behind home plate.
Look at Cosma. Cosma's got to circle back, get in a position with his right foot on the bag, and make the throw to first base. I think they would have had Ortiz had the play been made cleanly by Pete.
The Red Sox have a chance here with the bases loaded, 1 out, to do damage in the first inning against Adam Wainwright.